Alright folks, welcome to the first game of the day. For the Corsair Cup, spawning in the top left side of Prion Terraces, we've got the green Zerg, TomikuS.
The bottom right as the red Terran, it's Lillekanin.
Alright, so it is the best of one, that's why there's no score displayed on the overlay. Lillekanin kind of, I would say, thrives in these odd scenarios, as it seems like he can take one game at least off of about any player in StarCraft 2. But as for a full series, that's where it really comes down to, is he playing against somebody like the caliber of Snoot, or Hydra, or you name it. So we'll see how this actually goes. It's worth noting, we've actually seen Lillekanin do weird things like lift to the gold, for example, on this map. And of course, he's a fan of mech slash going air when possible, so we'll see what he gets away with. I
Yep.
can't help but think back to every time I miss him. What happened to Healer Zombie Grub? That guy, he won my heart and then disappeared.
He streamed today, and he still pops up in the BaseTradeTV chat, so he's still alive.
I felt bad. He tweeted me asking if we could retweet his stream, and had I been awake at the time, I would have had no problem
Yeah,
doing that.
same deal. I was actually awake in the morning at around 9, which was a little too late still, because I had to take my cat to the vet. I am so tired. I want to take a nap after that, and then, well, my other cats didn't want me to, so.
It feels so good getting a nap in after a cast. But thank you to Marquad, brand new subscriber to the channel. New sub hype, you are subscriber 1,150. We're back on that train, that road to 69.
Heh. Heh.
you got a hairball or something, Zombie Girl. You okay?
They should have named that map in Overwatch Route 69.
I know, I'm really upset that they didn't. Alright, so, oh man, that short, I'm not going to spoil anything, because I know there's still probably some people who haven't seen it, but oh boy, did I love that short. And if for nothing else,
Yeah.
the music was just, on point.
I guess I didn't really consider that. I mean, people are going to be invested in the story now. It's like more than just, idle clips, I suppose. Oh well.
Alright, well, anyways, enough about Overwatch for the time being. Lillekanin did throw down a factory instead of 3 racks. I wasn't sure which direction he was going to go with this. He's taking a reactor in a tech lab, and I really, in any other person, you'd be like, okay, this is probably for STIM and marine production, getting bio out, but I honestly don't know. It's Lillekanin. He plays the game a little bit odd. He's going to have to cut around some slow links for a moment. Going to pull a couple SCVs to try and make this a little bit easier. Should be able to handle this.
That was pretty perfect, yeah. And sends those links packing. But, I mean, it's already a little odd. Racks openers aren't completely out of the question. Of course, you have racks, Reaper racks openers, which go into more racks, and then you do delay that tech. But usually, if you're not going for a Reaper opener, which Lillekanin didn't, you're not going to go for more than 1 in the beginning. But, I mean, they went for that CC, so he has 2, and he's just working with what he's got, basically. Didn't go up to Hellions or Starport super quick, but it's still bothering to get some Hellions. A single engineering bay as well. Another barracks. No starport actually. I thought that was a starport.
Yeah, so that's what I'm finding a little bit odd about this. I guess when you've got this stigma of playing pretty heavy on mech, somebody like Lillekanin could really shake it up by playing standard. Not to get a little bit too metagaming about it, but it kind of is funny to see. Like, TomikuS surely has played against Lillekanin hundreds of times, and every time it's been mech, and more mech, win or lose. The fact that Lillekanin's going bio is certainly a little bit different. He's going to scout this with the Overlord, which makes him feel a little bit better about this Baneling Nest choice, which would otherwise be pretty ineffective against most Lillekanin builds.
Well, TomikuS is also getting a lot of lings, so he's not just defending against a push here from Lillekanin, which it does look like Lillekanin wanted to set up, but he's also just, potentially just going to kill him.
Yeah, I'm wondering
Hellions can help a little bit.
I mean, it's a map with gold bases, so you can kind of get away with spending a little bit more on army than you normally would, but it is the fact that if it's a giant old bust, and it is, Lillekanin's wall isn't going to hold. The Hellions are going to come to this third and be surprisingly disappointed. There's nothing here to kill. As they rush back home, it may be too late. These Hellions also going to miss the Banelings. Morphe on the ramp. Sees 1, maybe? Nope.
Yeah, that should be suspicious to see no drones at that third base.
Oh,
the
God.
supply depot's not raised. They could just walk in. I mean, the real trouble is usually the Ling flood after. So just the Banelings right now isn't too scary. The Hellions can deal with the Lings and they can deal with the Banelings. It's when they're surrounded and trapped that you really have to start to worry. And by killing all those Lings, Lillekanin has made life a lot easier for him. But of course, a lot more are on the way.
Right, and that's the thing. Hellions, while good initially, as we see, are already pretty battered up and damaged and not going to last too much longer. Bio moving out. It's going to
no!
walk into... Oh, god damn it, Lillekanin! The move command!
At least.
Okay, but the point of this was still true of what you said. Like, a big majority of the damage here is going to be through Ling follow-up, not through Banelings. If he can manage the Ling follow-up, this game isn't over. He's got a good amount of Hellions. His army's not looking too bad. He lost 4 SCVs for that. Honestly, if it weren't for that incredibly terrible army fuck-up, this would have been a great hold for Lillekanin.
Yeah, it should have been a perfect one. TomikuS, I mean, I don't know. It's always interesting to see a good old-fashioned bus come back into the...
No.
But yeah, definitely don't go up there. Even if he did go up there, though, he'd be, like, soaking a lot of the Banelings. It surprises he Marauders in here, but I think he was expecting more towards Roaches, because more people are playing Roaches on Pre-on Terraces. He does scout to the right, and he will turn back, and this should, again, not be a lot of damage.
Yeah. I mean, TomikuS, by the way, as weird as it is, falls behind on this, not because he's the cost is too expensive on these Banelings, but it's really more about the gas than anything else. Right now, he's still making a lot of Lings. He's not mining off of this third. His investment was to win, not to like trade out a little bit and then get ahead in macro. He's only just now getting a layer after all. So Lillekanin has +1 on his side. He's got combat shields. He's got stim. Everything looks aces for our red Terran right now.
Yeah. Lillekanin's composition does work out pretty well against TomikuS. Marauders and Hellbats used appropriately would deal with both Roaches and Lings, which you would expect them to have at an early stage like this. But of course, TomikuS only with Lings should just be roasted and toasted by the Hellbats. That's where Banelings are gonna have to crash in, and then the Lings surround the Marauders. Because in general, Lillekanin's army isn't like super big. It's not 30 Marines that are gonna spread and run away, but TomikuS already kind of burnt like 2 Baneling busts, basically.
Yeah,
and now he doesn't have that many Banelings left over.
Like 19 Banelings died, plus the ones that actually crash into a wall that don't get tracked on the unit's last tab. Hellbats will actually be fantastic for soaking these hits, but the bio's not going to actually be enough. And with the medevacs not picking everything up, that actually gets cleaned up. Now, it's 4 Marauders, funny enough, that actually survived. These can snipe a hatchery if left unattended. Oh, yeah. You know what, though? Also, I didn't realize the gold's starting to mine out pretty quickly here for TomikuS. Like, he's actually almost out of juice in his natural.
Probably just have to transfer to that third base, but no matter what, 32 drones is not too great. I was going to say Lillekanin has 38 SCVs and a third base on the way, and Marauders, well, there's definitely one thing they're good at besides soaking up Banelings. It is killing buildings. Apparently they're not equipped onto.
They're like, kind of cute micro, but if you just focused on the hatchery, would have killed it. Bit unfortunate, because again, with this base mining out soon, TomikuS is going to not just want, but need to mine off of this base. However, a big-ass bus is on the way. There's a Widow Mine looking for that perfect hit.
Okay.
Even if it goes off of the Lings, it's not too bad. Spreading the Marines on the backside of this, the Lings do get cleaned up. We talked about this already. Bringing it up again. There's no follow-through for this. You've broken the wall, but with no plan B.
Yeah. You know, again, the amount of Lings TomikuS can get is surprisingly effective against the composition Lillekanin has without those Hellbats covering his Marauders. And he is still producing 2 Marauders at a time, despite there not being any Roaches. I mean, they're definitely good for soaking up Banelings, but 1 Baneling and Hellbats, or just Hellbats, can do the same thing. So it's still a little funky, but it's certainly worth it. They're going to win the game. I mean, the bulkiness of his composition has been better than TomikuS' attempts to Baneling bust, and he's not stopping his attempts to Baneling bust. Now he's just going to try and improve it by having speed.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Lillekanin does not make any major mistakes, he should be fine in this game. But that's the problem, and that's what's so scary. A lot of you may be just screaming in your minds, then why didn't he just move forever ago with that 1-1 lead? But the sad truth is, that's how you throw a game. So playing it a little bit slower, playing it a little bit safer. I almost wonder, is somebody else on Lillekanin's account right now? Because this is so unlike him. But this is the best way to be playing this.
Thanks to Logan for the 18-month resub.
Logan hype!
Oh. Double drop in the main is a pretty good idea. Of course, there's another weakness of TomikuS. Does it rhyme?
When you think you're a Marine, but you're not.
Is that, he doesn't have any anti-air. He doesn't have any upgrades. He doesn't have any anti-air. Build a missile turret. And again, these Banelings, they're never
really... TV!
The Banelings are never really trading that well against such a bulky composition of Hellbats and Marauders. I mean, mass Lings would be doing better, especially if they were upgraded, which of course they are not.
Build a turret! Chances over to the normal base, kind of nice for Lillekanin. I guess for TomikuS' sake, he did finally get mining on his base, but damn, those Marauders never got to finish it, I guess. Bit unfortunate. Lings are... Well, Hellbat, you've got one job, man! And that's
Yeah,
shoot
seriously.
any direction without aiming.
I guess speaking of the Hellbats, we see a few more haven't been made, and the factory's still on the reactor, but I guess he stopped after these last two Hellions. I was gonna say if he was gonna continue to invest into it, I'm surprised we don't see Blue Flame on the way. But instead we have Liberators, which aren't really a necessity. Like, if
I would
this is a
actually
regular
argue-
game going on and on and on, then Liberators would be a great choice, but against just only Massling Baneling.
So here's the thing, though, and this is where I argue Liberators are actually kind of okay. There's no Spire. So...
Well, I'm not saying that they're not okay. I'm saying they're not necessary. Like,
Oh yeah. Like I agree, but it's just funny because there's no real anti-air. So well, normally they'd be terrible against things like lots of Lings and lots of Banelings. This instance they'll be fine because there's nothing to shoot them. They could just sit over top of the larva.
Lillekanin, I mean, it's not the perfect bio game by any stretch, but it is working. And TomikuS is, especially, man, if he did have mutas, those mutas would be able to take a surprisingly okay fight against, again, like the small amount of Marines compared to what you would usually see. Like your 6 tanks and your 50 Marines, your 10 Widow Mines,
Oh
your
Lord,
50 Marines.
split just a little bit, please, God. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Looks like the SCV finally died. Sad face.
Oh, is that plus one going to finish?
There were Banelings
Oh,
over
it does.
here. Okay, Ling's gonna try and run by. Liberators are out. Bunker's here. He should be able to hold this. I guess the Banelings went into that bunker. Meanwhile, Banelings unload over here, but that's gonna be the extent of his army. These 3 Marauders aren't going down thanks to that +1 armor plus the
Yeah.
Medivacs.
Plus 2 armor, man. It's 2/2 versus
Oh.
just 1. Luckily, he's going to be able to get the Carapace too.
This is just finished.
Yeah, that upgrade lead is pretty substantial, again, because Masslings would do so bad. TomikuS is also trying to get a Roachmorn, which I think is the absolute worst answer. They've already built Marauders, now you're just helping build into their composition.
Yeah, I mean, TomikuS, for context, you guys, this isn't a bad player, but I mean, he's playing from so many things having gone wrong this game.
Okay, so if he had expected or known Lillekanin was going to play the way he is, so besides like the mistakes of not picking up and not splitting and whatnot, but depending a lot on Marauders, I think he would have played this game a lot better. But I think it's 13 minutes in a game where you fail to Baneling Bust twice, and he's just surprised he's still in it. So he's just now trying to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should try and play like a Macker game. Like, okay, it's too late though. So he's like lost drones, he's lost a base. It's not gonna happen. But I mean, he's starting to kind of try. Just I do not think that roaches were a good answer.
Well, it's amazing the amount of Marauder drops that have gone on in this game compared to the lack of buildings that have died. But isn't there a Shift K or no Shift?
Yes, that's what we found. Structures lost. Well, it's been
There you go.
an evolution chamber, hasn't it?
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, and a hatchery and 3 creep tumors.
Oh, I guess it's that a tree.
Yeah, not this one. This one would make
Yeah,
too
not
sense.
this one.
This would make too much sense to be the one that dies.
I guess
So-
the roaches might have just purely been for Ravagers to defend against the Liberators, but I think a Spire again would have been better.
Why do we have a fucking cat wall going on in chat right now?
It's a
It's the
I don't
Great
know.
Wall of Ace Kate. Yo, let me pitch you this idea. Someone was talking about yesterday. They want to have like a Partouf tournament sometime, right? And we kind of were
okay.
sanctioning this in the past. I was thinking, what if we combine that idea with like a drunk cast to make those games more tolerable?
What, like the winner gets a Partouf?
Like the winners would get like a like Partoufs, like the bot, like in chat, like 2,000 Partoufs to the winner type thing.
Oh, not like a real. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be stupid. I mean, fun, but it'd be so silly. Okay, claim your reward. You're on BaseTradeTV chat. Attempts to give 2,050 times because we're drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. I
I'm
know
down.
it's something to think of. We actually had somebody request some stuff regarding some more fun style things, like they want to basically sponsor some like almost free for all / Fun Day Monday themed things. The one thing that restricts us so much from doing any of that stuff though is really just our time and our schedule and what's casting. Especially with us traveling to Texas soon, it's not gonna be happening in the near future. But I bring it up on the cast because I just want to let people know, like, we consider things like this for real, and it sounds like a fun idea, but we'll have to put a asterisk in it for the time being. We got the
Um,
next series pretty much good to go if we want to follow Lillekanin.
yeah, he's going to be facing Rodzen. Oh, did they just start?
No, they're just in the lobby. I told them let us host for the map.
Oh, okay, good.
But there's a lot of really good players in the bracket, guys. We'll talk more about that momentarily, but we are going to go to a break before we do, so stick around. 2 minutes, nothing longer. We'll see you soon.